Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the instant match reaction. Manchester City won, Everton won. A really, really good point at the Etihad today. And it could have been more. Could have been more than the 3 points Everton going close. Well, not going close as such, but having the opportunity in the last couple of minutes with a couple of breakaways. Actually, that last one, 4-on-2. Just poor decision making on a couple of occasions have cost us there. I don't think our players are used to breaking. Full stop. Never mind 4-on-2. I just don't think they're used to breaking. Yeah, obviously Everton coming into this game with a couple of draws against obviously teams who are near the top of the league. I think we all felt we had an opportunity in this game if we did things the right way. We mentioned it on the preview about just staying in the game if Manchester City did score. And that's what we did, really. They came out really, really quickly. Came out the blocks really quickly. And they obviously got a goal with a little bit of luck, a little bit of fortune, the way it sort of just sort of caught Jared Brantwaite's studs and went in. And it was important that we didn't just throw the towel in as such, just kept on going and kept, because Manchester City have shown how fragile they are in the last few weeks. And obviously the last time they played at home, they drew with they were beaten by Manchester United, weren't they? Throwing a couple of late goals away. So it was important that we just stayed in the game. And to be fair, we did. We stayed in the game. And then I think we started to grow a little bit. They didn't really show too much. They didn't really have any big opportunities. Jordan Pickford, don't remember having too many saves to make in that first half. I mean, he had a couple in the second half, but he didn't have too many in the first half. And it was just about staying in the game and picking our moments. And to be fair, you know, we got, what was it, about 10 minutes before half time, and Seamus Coleman's, and that's the difference, I suppose, between Seamus Coleman and Ashley Young, is the way Seamus Coleman can run with the ball. And I really believe this team could be transformed by a couple of fullbacks, and maybe allowing the fullbacks to get forward. But I do believe that we could be such a different team, and that's the difference, as I said, between Seamus and Ashley Young. Ashley Young doesn't possess that ability to in the days now to run with the ball like Seamus does. Seamus is still really positive on the ball. Will get forward and will attack. And the difference that makes to a side is unbelievable. It really is. Having at least one fullback who will push forward and have a go at the opposition. And the ball's found its way into Ndiaye, and to be fair, he has took it brilliantly. With the outside of his foot to get us back into the game. And I think City at that point were like, away we go again. And it was a hugely encouraging moment for us, certainly scoring a goal from not having to be a set piece, because to be honest, our set pieces were garbage today. But it was hugely encouraging. And I think, again, me and Baz talked in the preview about Ndiaye, about where he has to be on the pitch. I think I mentioned it probably in me player ratings for the last game, where he has to be in and around. And that's certainly where he was for this goal. And it just shows you just a little bit of positivity. We've been talking about this all season. This is why this game is different to the last two. Well, the Arsenal game was very negative, wasn't it? It was a very negative game in terms of the way we played it. Chelsea was a bit 50-50. Second half, we started to have a go. And in this game, I thought from about half an hour onwards, we started to have a little go with them. Not massively like raiding forward. But when we did go forward, we went with a little bit of belief. And we went with numbers as well. I thought Decore did well in midfield, just driving us on. Being a bit more of a flat three in midfield rather than having, where McNeil plays a little bit more further forward. I think with that three, it's more of a flat three. So Decore can drive us forward a little bit more. So he was going forward, and I think we were going up with, obviously not all the time, just in moments we were going forward. And obviously in the second half we did a little bit as well. But it's nice to see that positivity, because I think the fact that we've bemoaned all season is that there is more to this side. I think there is more to this side. I think there's genuine proof out there that there's that there's more in this side than just a team that's going to defend. I think we have to find that balance, and if Sean Dyche remains as the manager, he has to find that balance a little bit more. Certainly in games coming up, like Forest at home and Bournemouth away, we're going to have to, because we can't just sit in against those teams. We have to be a bit more proactive, even though it doesn't. All right, those teams might be doing well this season, and the table shows they're doing well, but I think we have to be more proactive in those games. So obviously we got to half time at 1-1, and that's at that point you're thinking that's great, but can we hold on to it? And obviously they got the penalty, and it was a penalty. Mykolenko had a bit of a torrid day, and he was already on a booking, so that was quite interesting as well. That might be something that maybe Pep Guardiola or one of their players references. There's the fact, being on a booking and bringing the player down. And the worst thing about it was when he got into the box, he was actually slipping. If you're watching in slow motion, you can see the turf giving way. He was already slipping, and then obviously Mykolenko catches him, and he obviously is going to go down. But Pickford outside Haaland, maybe, I don't know. It wasn't a great penalty, and just it was nice to see that offside flag go up for the rebound. But great save, obviously Pickford again. He had another save as well that he made in the second half. Bit of a flurry, bit of a spell that they had, but I thought once again we grew into the game in the second half. We did that thing where we defend in mad numbers. I think we did this on when was it, Sunday, against Chelsea, where we defended for a little bit and then we got through the rough period and started to grow again. And I suppose that's the most frustrating part of the game, is that towards the end of the game, Brozier came on, he started dropping a little bit deeper, which worried me at first, because I was thinking, oh no, we're gonna get pushed right in here, and they're gonna just sit in our half. But he actually got hold of the ball from deep and started running at them, and that allowed more players. And it was just poor decision making in the final third. A few times we were outnumbering. There was the one. There was one just before that where we should have had a corner, but it's brushed off a Gisagana Gay. And then obviously that one at the end, 4 against 2. To be honest, I think Brozier hangs onto the ball a little bit too long. And by the time it gets to Harrison, it's Harrison, unfortunately. But I think he just hung on too long. And there was a couple of opportunities late on that I think better sides would have really punished Manchester City there. It was really frustrating, because they towards the end didn't do anything. A few balls tossed into the box that we dealt with pretty easily. They just the biggest scare I got in the second half after the penalty was when the ball went off for 6 minutes, and you get that uneasiness because it gives everyone a lift. Even not that there was many Manchester City fans in the ground, or you wouldn't have thought there was that many Manchester City fans. But I mean, that are 12 games on a Boxing Day nonsense, but. That just gave them a lift, because you do. But again, we rolled out the first couple of minutes, dealt with the first ball. They didn't have too many opportunities, really. And it was just you just think I know we're all probably happy with the points, but if maybe, I don't know, maybe if we were in a much, much worse position, then you'd be thinking, God, we could have won that. Or if we were in a much better position, you're thinking, how costly is not getting the 3 points today? But it keeps us ticking over. It keeps us obviously picked up 3 points. Well, picked up 6 points from our last 4 games, which when you look at those games isn't terrible at all, really. Isn't terrible at all. And I was looking at this month thinking if we could get 7 points, I would be really happy, really happy with that. So obviously we've got Forest now on Sunday. So if we can get something out of that game, then we've got the 7 points. I thought it would be a couple of wins if we were going to get this point. I thought it was going to be a couple of wins and a draw. But we've managed to get a win and 3 draws from 3 really, really tough games. And we've almost reset in these 3 games, I think. We've gone back to basics very much back to basics in the Arsenal game. After what happened, I know we had the Wolves win, but what happened at the Manchester United game, which was absolutely awful. We've reset. We've gone back to back to what we do best, or what Sean Dyche has them doing best. And then we've grown a little bit in the Chelsea game, and I think we've grown a little bit today. And that puts not pressure on Sunday, but I think now we all go, well, Sunday now, big opportunity if we can mold all that together, if we can put the defensive aspect and a little bit of the attacking aspect into Sunday's game. Obviously, it's very tough. Don't get me wrong. Just because we're playing, the name is not Nottingham Forest doesn't mean anything. They're flying this season, and it'll be a very, very tough game. They have a lot of pace in their side. I think that's what's helped them really grow this season, is having that pace in the side. But we have to put all that together now as we go forward. And as I said, we have reset a little bit. Let me just do the super chat from SCA. Pup Gaming. Please, Freakins, buy a new right winger so I don't have to watch Jack Harrison anymore. Yeah, Jack wasn't particularly good today at all, really. But he left them on. The odd thing was he left them on the pitch and took Ndiaye off and brought Lindstrom on. Bringing Lindstrom on to be a defensive linchpin. He also brought Patterson, of course, and maybe that's why he didn't take Harrison off, because he brought Patterson on at right back. But as I said before, I thought Seamus did really well today, considering he hasn't played. All that experience showed today, and going forward, he was excellent. And the team actually, I mean, in these games, the team does look more balanced with that three in midfield. And it'll be interesting if McNeil is available. It'll be interesting what he does. Does he put Ndiaye up on the left? Just put Ndiaye on the right and play McNeil on the left and leave it as it is? Because, as I said, Sunday still is a very tough game. Forest are doing really, really well. So it'll be interesting. But listen, we can't argue with that today. That's a really good point. And but it is crazy to be sitting here thinking what could have been. And, at the start of the month, when you looked at the fixtures and you looked at the form we were in, or just I don't even know if you'd call it form, just the general way we were playing, we've managed to get ourselves back together. So, players take a lot of credit for that. Manager takes credit for. It's not like I suppose the Arsenal game when you're sitting there thinking or looking at it going, how negative is this? You're looking at today's game thinking, oh, we've done well. We've done well on the break there. We've done all right. It's weird how, and I've said this before, keeping clean sheets is not the be all and end all of the world. It really isn't, because I feel more positive coming out of looking at that game, being 1-0 down, getting it back to 1-1, having opportunities to win. I feel more positive. So this idea that clean sheets, they're great, don't get me wrong, and they will help you win games of football. But this idea that clean sheets are like what everything should be based on, you've got to be able to score goals. You've got to have an end product to win games. You will concede goals when you play teams like Man City or whoever. There will be opportunity. Something will hit someone and go in. Doesn't matter how well you defend. Something will happen. So it was really nice to see us. I'd rather a 1-1 today than a 0-0. Your fans get to sing about something. You get to see an actual goal go in. And, it's just nicer. It's just a lot nicer, I think. Yes, okay. And we've been saying that for weeks. Clean sheets, it's great. But if you're not scoring goals, then it's pointless. It's pointless. Anyway, I'm going to go. I'm going to start looking at the player ratings. And so make sure you check out Baz's videos. Check out my player ratings in a little bit. I won't be too long because I want to get on with the rest of my day, because it is still Boxing Day. There you go. Thanks for watching. See you later.